These are pretty simple. They just kind of push in these holes here, these plastic bits. Easier said than done. You may need a little bit of a clamp to push those in, or you can kind of struggle like I just did a little bit, pushing one in on this one side in at a time. Yeah, so I might use a clamp to go ahead and pull that together, but they just push into position. So then the next part would be to join your two rails together. That's pretty straightforward. You just take these little tabs that are here, place them in a position, and then just slide them over. Oh, I missed. Slide them over like that, and they lock into position. So that's pretty straightforward. If you get them locked in the right position, that is. There we go. So you can see the tabs here go over the other tabs that are underneath there. Now once it's in, you can kind of tell it's just kind of locked together. Just to give you a quick illustration as to how this fits, basically you're going to mount this on the wall, finding the wall studs and screwing through these holes into the wall studs, and then you're going to pick up your furniture and it's going to just hook in just like that, and then you'll put bolts through from the inside that are going to screw into this metal bracket here, and it's going to hold it very securely to the wall. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is figure out where on your wall you want this to go. I wanted it to be 6 inches off the wall. I think it was like 23¼ was the halfway mark, so I marked my middle mark right here. It's kind of difficult to see, I know. And then what I did was I took a stud finder and I found out where the studs were, and I kind of just marked along here with a squiggly line where that's going to be. And then I also drilled one of my cabinet screws into that just to confirm there was a stud there. So I've got a stud there and a stud there, which is perfect. I've got one for each rail. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up the rail by making sure that this line is centered across all my holes and that I'm getting my cabinet screw in where my stud is. I'll show you the setup in just a moment. Okay, so I've attempted to position my tripod in a position where you might be able to see what I'm doing. So I've got my mark on the wall where my center mark is, right here. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball where the center was because it's not that critical. If you want, you can measure the distance between these two, divide it by 2 to actually give yourself a center mark. Then what I'm going to do is verify that I've got my holes lined up with that line that are there. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these cabinet screws to go. These are 2.5 inch cabinet screws. I'm going to use those to go into the stud. But I think also what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 or 2 anchors on the outside of each one of these using like those wall dog things. If you saw my video with the closet shelves, how I reinforced that, I think I'm going to use some of those things here as well, just to give it a little bit extra. I think it would be fine just with the cabinet screws, but I always like to err on the side of overdoing it a little bit, because why not? Okay, so after mapping out where my wall studs are and mounting my bracket, you can see I was able to get one here, and get one down here, which is pretty good. If it makes you feel better, you could take the wall dogs or some other type of drywall anchor. Those wall dogs are the white ones that have the spiral that you put the screw through it. It's supposed to hold 75 pounds, but I think with one towards this outer edge here, one towards the middle, and one towards this outer edge, it should hold the shelf quite nicely. So it's up to you how you want to handle this. In my situation, I think it worked out with the wall studs. I should be good to go. This is pretty straightforward. You just pick it up, center it on your mount. It should pop right in. So you can see we do have it mounted on the wall now. Step back a little bit, see what we got. It is up there. And the only thing you've got to do at this point is line up your screw holes so that you can put your screws in, anchoring it to the wall. And that is it. This is up. From here you just put on your doors and your hardware, whatever else you got to go for the decorations from the outside, the shelves and everything, but that's it. It's installed at this point. So yeah, maybe I'll make a video on putting on the doors and the other hardware as well. But that thing's on the wall. You're ready to go. Make sure you check out my channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and share this if you think this will help somebody else. Thank you.